Good morning, everybody. Mr. Kannan, CEO of IBA, and my boss, Mr. Basin, CTO of State Bank, who is my successor in State Bank, and Mr. Ravi Gupta and Kaushik Dose. I first of all thank elets for organizing this summit and inviting me for this meeting. I congratulate all the CTFOs for the excellent job they have done in the last 1 year, especially facing the challenges of demonetization and the boost given to the digital transactions thereafter. Because they were doing an excellent job before the demonetization also, but the demonetization gave a thrust so that the expansion could go in multiple axes. Now, since my boss is there, we are not supposed to talk too much in front of the boss. I'll talk a little. Banks, like Mr. Basin said, have been having a healthy competition in adopting latest technology in banking in recent times. And they have been adopting all the new things, what Mr. Basin has said, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, big data and analytics, blockchain. So in digital banking, especially in the last 1 year, they have brought out so many new applications, improved the services in mobile banking, so that you need not go to the bank for any service. Almost all the services, not only putting through transactions and remittances, but also opening of fixed deposits, getting loans against fixed deposits, closing them. So even for fixed deposits, which the customers used to go to the bank, now they can do everything from the mobile. And that is because of the efforts taken by the CTOs in understanding the customers' needs. They are also giving all other services. So the mobile banking has become a part of the bank premises. And they have introduced all mobile wallets. So earlier only the private players were having the mobile wallets. Now almost every bank also has a mobile wallet. And so it is made it convenient for the customers, especially for handling low-value transactions. Then we had the great applications like UPI, which has grown from just 0.3 million transactions almost 10 times in the last 6 months. And BEAM. See, earlier every bank had a separate UPI, and BEAM brought everything together for the convenience of the customer. So under a single app, you are able to go to any bank's UPI and use it. And this is again an example of a collaboration. And the other one is the Bharat QR. So the QR itself makes it convenient for the customer so that he need not swipe the card. He can just scan the QR with the merchant and make the payment. And earlier we had QR codes with multiple network operators, Visa, Master, RuPay, American Express. Now, this is the first time in the world that all these network operators, or the card operators, and the banks have come together and launched the Bharat QR for making it convenient for the QR customers, what we call as digital POS machines. So it reduces the cost for the merchants also. They need not have this physical POS, which is costing much more. And then came the BEAM Aadhaar. So the AEPS, which was introduced mainly for the BCs, The banks have now exploited it to use it for merchant transactions using Beam Aadhaar, where the customer need not have a phone. It's only the merchant who needs to have a phone with a biometric. And so it is able to reach millions of customers and thousands of merchants across. And government is focusing on this. Almost 2 million merchants they are planning to have it be in the next 6 months. Banks are also working together on this. So it is reaching the rural and semi-urban merchants and making life easier for them. So as I said, in apps like Beam and Bharat QR, the banks have collaborated with each other. And that is the importance. Without collaboration, it will be making the life miserable both for the merchants and the customers. So I'm happy that the banks have realized that the customer's interest is more important than the individual banks. It's not that they have given up their own business, but they are working together, so it's a win-win situation for all. Now, after demonetization, everybody first talked about a cashless society. Everything should be done on digital. Then they realized that we cannot move to a cashless society, but a less cash society. Because for all small transactions and convenience, cash may be required for certain type of transaction. So what we should target is a less cash society than a cashless society. So Government of India is also encouraging digital transaction. They have set a very challenging task of 25 billion digital transactions for all the banks put together in the next 1 year, before March 2018. So banks are working together on that. What, in my personal opinion, that for digital transactions to succeed, we must move from high-value transactions to low value. We should not start from low value and ask everybody to do even low-value transactions on digital mode. Low-value transaction will be accepted by merchants or vendors, provided it is easy, convenient to use, both for the customer and the merchant. It should be safe and secure. And foremost, especially for small value transactions, the turnaround time is important. Turnaround time in the sense, customer completing the transaction with the merchant. See, if you're doing a shopping in a textile shop or a jewelry shop, you have all the time in the world and there is no necessity for you to pay in cash. But if the digital transaction is going to affect the turnover of the merchant or drive away the customer or make it difficult to get his supplies, then it will be difficult. So for example, we have, morning, entire Bombay goes to the station to commute. And many people take their food in the railway stalls. Now you try to think, in the railway food stalls, you try to make digital transactions. I think it will be a total failure. Because they are trying to serve the customers with small amounts in seconds. And there, if you try to push digital, it will not work. So we have to identify areas where which can push the digital transaction and leave it to the merchant and the customer where it is convenient for them to make cash payments. Now, Government of India in the last budget has put a restriction that any cash purchases above 2 lakhs cannot be made in cash. It has to be only through other means, say the check or digital or anything. So I think that limit is a bit high. Slowly they can bring it down to 50,000 or 10,000 because I feel any transaction above 10,000, there is no purpose in having a cash payment. So this should be brought about slowly. So when the banks are trying to push through digital transaction and designing application, they should take this TAT for the merchant and customer intercount, the turnaround time. And one of the things they have done already is in the case of contactless cards. So contactless cards reduces the time for swiping the card with the system. So it is making it convenient for the customer as well as the merchant. Similarly, the QR code. Earlier, because entering the beneficiaries' details, etc., is taking time, the QR code has made it simple. So these two are examples where the TAT has brought down and it has made it convenient for both the customer and the merchant. So banks, especially the CDOs, should think of new applications where how this TAT can be brought down. Government of India recently has brought out a notification under the PMLA Act that Aadhaar is compulsory for opening accounts and also for all existing accounts. Not only that, whatever Aadhaar that has been fed has to be verified to ensure that any mistakes which had crept in the initial stages, especially when the LPG subsidy was being introduced, the banks had updated all their data through bulk mode. So a lot of mistakes had happened. Now the government says that please verify. So before December, all the accounts have to be verified either through biometric or through OTP or demat authorization. So to enable this, they have said all banks should set up enrollment agencies within the bank premises. Because there were certain concerns that these enrollment agencies functioning outside had some errors or frauds, etc. So the Supreme Court in its order had expressed concern. So now they have said all these things should be done within the bank premises. So that will be one of the challenges for the CTOs in the immediate future, how they are going to capture this Aadhaar and then also for all existing accounts to verify them. One big advantage of the Aadhaar, because our secretary from the state has given details about how the state is exploiting the Aadhaar in various ways. For the bankers, earlier, when I was a CTO and when I was a CGM banking operations, 4 or 5 years back, we had problem about this deduplication. RBI always used to say, you please verify that one customer has only one customer ID, not 4 or 5. People used to have different IDs, open account one place with passport, one place with ration card, another place with election ID. And they were frauds. But at that time, we didn't have a unique ID to verify or deduplicate. Aadhaar came in handy, and we were able to do the deduplication. Now, the CTOs have to plan to see how this new notification, making it compulsory for every account to be linked with Aadhaar, can be used in their future applications and make it simple for the customer. I once again congratulate all the CTOs for the excellent work they have done in the last 1 year and hope they will be doing much more in the years to come. Thank you.